And good afternoon, everybody. It is Chief Meteorologist Dave Roberts here, along with Elise Ushman. And we're just getting our little settings set up here. Sort of, maybe, possibly.
I got it.
There you go. Look at that. A pro. I don't even know what you did, but you pushed all the buttons. We come in here every time we come in here, and guess what? It's something new every day.
Yeah,
The settings are always
different
changed.
buttons.
Beautiful. I love it.
different buttons.
It's like launching, honestly, it's like launching a rocket into outer space, but ours explodes on the launch pad. That's the only difference. Yeah, it's kind of exciting.
One day, though.
One day we're going to get
One of
there,
these days.
Anyway, but you know what? Thank goodness there's two of us because I find something, you find something, and it's kind of cool. Anyway, happy to be with you this afternoon. Hope you're having a good day too. It is a nice day out there. It's pretty.
It's beautiful.
Temperatures are perfect. And I wanted to eat lunch outside today. I didn't do that. I ate sort of my lunch. My lunch is in the evening. I ate that yesterday outside. It was fantastic. The weather is beautiful. We've got another beautiful evening ahead of us. But overnight and tomorrow morning, there may be a few showers around. I'm still not convinced. And
I'm not totally convinced. There are indications, but there are also indications that there won't be. And I actually have both in here.
Well, that's good. You're going to have both indications.
I have both indications.
And then we're going to talk about the severe weather threat that we've got coming our way on Saturday as well. Yeah. So a lot of things going on. That tree is shaking. Is it scared? Is the tree scared of the weather?
Maybe.
Okay. Tell us what's going on.
All right. So we got 3 potential chances for stormy weather. The only one that looks like a sure thing right now is Saturday.
Yeah.
Where storms are likely from the mid-morning hours to the late afternoon hours. That's an early time frame. It's still a relatively long time frame because we don't have an hour by hour look at it just yet. Now, Thursday morning, so tonight and tomorrow morning, maybe a shower or a thunderstorm. Friday, also maybe a shower or a thunderstorm in the evening. But that remains to be seen. So we do have a level 1 out of 5 risk across about half of the area along and north of Interstate 20. That's for tonight into early tomorrow morning. I'll show you both indications here. Both of the indications.
Please give us the indications.
So here's the first one. This one says yes, thunderstorms. 12 a.m. Thursday, we got some showers out there, and then this little cluster of storms kind of pokes its nose in here between 1 a.m. and about 6 a.m. And as it is kind of bowed out there, we have the potential for some damaging wind gusts as that pushes in. If this pans out, it will be noisy. There will be some rumbles of thunder, maybe some small hail, and then cleared out before you head out for the morning commute. So maybe it wakes you up, but otherwise not going to be that impactful.
So a couple of overnight storms are certainly a possibility. Not everybody's going to see the weather. Not everybody's going to see the wet weather overnight tonight. So don't be overly concerned about it, but definitely be weather aware and don't be shocked if in the middle of the night you are woken up by these storms. Always a good idea to have your settings turned on the free First Alert weather app to warnings just in case any do come through during the overnight hours.
Yeah, well, here's the other indication. This one says no.
Says storms, schmorms.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what it said.
That's what it said. In North Mississippi, there's a little something going on out there, and that's what this same model had yesterday. It had just a few of them kind of scraping us, but now it has it staying totally dry, and then it agrees. In the morning, late morning, that's all changed. Now this is new.
Friday.
This is Friday. This was just updated. So now we're under a level 3 out of 5 risk on Friday.
Yeah, they just extended that much farther south across the Metro Jackson area.
Friday as well as Saturday. Yeah, that is new. If you're not under the level 3, you're under a level 2. Some of you even only under a level 1. Quite a range of emotions.
And we'll show you those maps a little bit more in detail. We'll go into the county by county breakdown during our weathercast in the news today on WLBT News at 4:30 as I nudge to my right, and 5 and 6 right here. We'll have that for you as well. The other change, and that was earlier this morning, this change was made, was for the enhanced risk to cover more of the Metro Jackson area and really most of the area now, most of our area. We have some issue with this. I don't want to speak for you, Elise, but we were kind of talking about behind the scenes, a little issue with this, only because we think the worst of the storm threat might be right over I-55 to I-59, somewhere in that area, maybe not so much farther to the west, but we're kind of getting into the weeds a little bit on that.
Yeah, basically just still feeling the same as we felt yesterday, where they might pop up here, but they're very quickly going to move east. And so a level 3 out of 5 risk is definitely warranted in Alabama and into West Georgia. How much of central Mississippi will see that is still a little bit of a question mark.
Correct.
So here's what it might look like for us. This still shows some decent indications of spotty showers or thunderstorms on Friday. Now has them a little bit later into the overnight hours again. And then that main line still building in Saturday around mid-morning and continuing to bring us stormy weather. Again, all modes of severe weather until the mid-evening hours.
Correct.
Then there we go. That's it.
And that's the brunt of that there. So obviously a big concern that we're going to be addressing for you over the coming days. It's going to be very warm too. We'll be cracking 80 degrees. If we don't do it today, we'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Some places today, I think we'll make it to 80, if not get into the low 80s. But tomorrow we'll probably make it to 80. We'll make it to the mid 80s Friday. It's going to turn very windy Friday and windy on Saturday too. Outside of the storms, it's going to be windy. Sunday looks like a beautiful day. And a decent chunk of next week looks okay too. It doesn't get terribly cold after this front, just slightly cooler, but those temperatures are pleasant, at least for this area.
They're normal too. Upper 60s, low 70s
right.
is average for this time in March. Now by the end of next week, we should be in the low 70s, and that's still where we'll be.
Absolutely.
But yeah, pretty warm tomorrow and Friday. We made it to 78 in Jackson yesterday, and it's a little bit breezier today from the south. So definitely wouldn't be surprised to see those 80s.
Would not be surprised to see it at all. So just keep that in mind. Something we're going to be watching for you very closely over the coming days. But again, a severe threat that's, I'm going to say, meh tonight, Friday, ugh, Saturday. That's the best way to.
Same.
Yeah, same as yesterday. Really hasn't been a lot of changes in it.
That's about it, though.
Okay.
I hope you've been enjoying the beautiful weather for the early part of the week.
Yeah.
I saw somebody out on their boat on the reservoir yesterday.
It's
evening.
time.
I thought, wow, that looks great.
Yeah, but don't do it Friday and don't do it Saturday.
Definitely not.
So that's the thing. Cheyenne Bradley has a question. Let's take your question. Are we looking at some big long track tornadoes in the Jackson area? So unfortunately, there will be long track tornadoes in central Mississippi at some point on Saturday. I say long track or intense tornadoes. It is an unfortunate thing to predict. It's a little hard to predict. Our forecast models have been very much between I-55 and I-59 on this prediction. So I want to let you know. And that's not to say it won't happen west of I-55, but as far as odds go, they're most favorable between I-55 and I-59 mid-morning through mid-afternoon. That's where we look like we have the longest track tornadoes as a possibility. So just be aware of that. And that's why we want to keep pushing the fact that Saturday looks like it's going to be a rough day and very bad along the Alabama-Mississippi border. It looks like that's where there's going to be a pinnacle, if you will, of severe weather and a long track. If I don't want to get too specific on that. Chris Tolbert, is this severe weather Saturday remind you of the 2011 tornado outbreak? Not so much, but I hate to say this. Every tornado outbreak is different. They all have a different composition. Jimmy Reed, any indication we go to a moderate risk over East Mississippi? So, Jimmy, what I don't want you to do is don't get caught up in whether it's an enhanced or moderate. There isn't much of a difference. I wish we had the chart to show him, but maybe we do. Just give us 1 second. At least can pull it up for you. These are arbitrary things. They're not algorithmic. They're not, you know what I mean? So I don't want you to get caught up in it. We've had marginal risks before where one tornado can turn deadly. If you remember last week, we had 2 people killed in Madison County alone, and it really wasn't from tornadoes. It really was from wind. And it was from one case was the tree, and the other case was a power line down. So I just want to be careful that we don't get too caught up in it. So the difference between enhanced and moderate, enhanced is several scattered, and moderate is many scattered. So there are obviously you could have significant tornadoes in a 4 versus a 3, but I just want to let you know that there's not a huge difference in these levels. They are arbitrary. They're set by a team at the Storm Prediction Center, and we could make an argument about whether the last 3 systems have really reached enhanced, because we had a couple that didn't bring us any tornadoes and we were under an enhanced risk. So it's important to remember that. That's why I don't want to get too caught up in that. Cheyenne Bradley, do we know if this storm will be moving fast? This storm will be moving relatively fast. The key to Saturday will be where it starts. Okay, so where the outbreak starts. Now, the back edge of it, on everything that I'm looking at, looks to be the Mississippi River. If it's 50 miles farther west from there, we've got problems here. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to just keep it straight with you here. If it starts on the Mississippi River, the worst of it will be along I-55 and east. If it starts farther west, the whole area is going to have a major problem. So just letting you know what the story is. And we're doing this on Wednesday. So you have advance notice. This is not something we're pulling on you Friday night. We've been talking about this system since last week. So just be aware of the fact that Saturday looks like a rough day. And it's not something, I'm telling you, the last 3 outbreaks we've seen, I don't know, looking at this scale, I get a headache. And Elise knows I feel this way. Are they really enhanced the last few for Central and Southwest Mississippi? I'm not so sure. I am in agreement, though, on enhanced for Central Mississippi for this Saturday, if that means anything to you. But again, it's arbitrary, these things. We know there's going to be a severe weather outbreak, for Saturday across Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. We know it. Okay. We'd be shocked if there's not.
Yes.
Okay. We'd be shocked if there's not. All the ingredients are coming together. So that's where we're coming from on this. And I just want to let you know that. And unfortunately, Noble Dupree, Smith County is in the middle of this mess. And I know. And Smith County has a history with tornadoes and especially tornado warnings. So be aware of that. Cheyenne says, honestly, love that you're very honest and you're into weather. So is your mom. And I've learned listening to y'all. Mom will tell me a lot about how this weather will be. Well, always listen to your mama. Okay. I'm never going to go against your mama. That's for sure. But it sounds like your mama's on board. Sounds like she's making sense.
She's got the know-how.
And yeah. So mama seemed to know. My mom always seemed to know things. So I never knew how she knew them, but she knew them. Hey, Cindy Greg Jones. Hope you're having a nice day. And thanks for joining us on the little showgram here. So Elise is going to be with us on WL. You'll be on Studio 3 in a few minutes. In fact, we've got to get her out of here. She's got to catch her Uber to get over to the studio in time. And then she'll be on WLBT News at 4 and 4:30. And I'll be on WLBT News at 5, 6, and Fox 40 News at 9, WLBT News at 10. Holly Ivy Noblin just asked, how soon to the time will we know where it starts? I think she's saying how far in advance will we know when it starts? Right now, we're pretty confident. We think we're going to have some initiation of the storms around 8, 9 o'clock in the morning Saturday. Do you have a thought on that? Would you go later? Would you go earlier?
No, that looks about right to me. Now, we're waiting to get a new run.
Yeah, we have the high resolution models that are going to literally kick in around that time. Something interesting, Elise pointed this out, so I want to give her the credit on this. As we were conversing this afternoon about the weather, she noted that on the initial models that have just come into range, they don't show much going on Saturday morning except for a few showers. Right. So I think that's an important distinction. I think the next one's going to really reinforce that belief to see whether it goes in a different direction. But as of right now, I think it's probably going to be after 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. But to Elise's point, give her the credit on this. That's what I would tell you. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. So, and if you're asking where, as in what location it starts at, then we won't for sure know until it actually initializes. But when we get these short range models in, especially when we have 2 different ones that we can look at by tomorrow afternoon, then we'll really have a better idea of where it's expected to start.
Right.
And then we'll definitely be able to give you an hour by hour look at who's going to see it at what time.
Gotcha. Yeah, Angela Norwood's worried about getting some baseball games in. You're going to have some wet fields probably after Saturday. Hopefully you can get them in over the next couple of days if you have them. And hi, Zilphia Smith, excuse me. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. And hey, Deanna Welch. Well, folks, we're going to let you go. Elise got to go get ready. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll also be back here at 6:30 this evening to talk more about the storms, and we'll have a better look at those forecast models by then. So until then, take care. We'll see you soon, and watch us on TV if you would. We appreciate it.